So what would be a hiccup with her? Okay.
And I can't send her that far in a trailer because she's extremely it takes a limit out of the curricular ones, the back one. So, which could happen in 5 minutes or 500 miles. But I don't know where. 15 minutes would be awesome. Awesome. Just go over in your brand thing up there.
Something that a lot of times we see when we've got a horse, and I hope I don't step on a toe here, but I'll go to a horse show. In most of the case, it'll be a dressage show, it'll be a hunter jumper show, and they've got 78-foot lunge lines. And they've got that horse on the end of that lunge line, just like this. I call it a Jew bug on a string. And they're trying to get that horse's attention with that horse 75 feet away from them. And that horse is just kind of leaning around and he's going and going and going and going. Are they really getting anywhere with that horse? They're tiring him down. But they're actually building a marathon runner. And the next day it takes even longer, and the next day it takes even longer, and the next day it takes even longer. So, watch what I do right here. I'm trying to find a spot that's not got a lot of rocks here. See how long it takes this horse's head to come down. He's like, nobody has never lunged me this close. I really don't know what to do. He's figuring it out. He doesn't have to trot. All I ask that he walks. When y'all start seeing changes in the horse, tell me. The change may not last but a second or 2 seconds. But tell me when you see a change. Just say, there's one. Yep. So what I'm doing, it don't tire this horse out at all. But I am asking something of this horse where his brain keeps having to go to work and go to work and go to work. So every time he picks up on me, I pick up on him and say, soften. I'm asking him to soften his body right all the way up into his barrel, not just his neck. He's got his neck bent towards, or properly. He's got his head cantered out just a little bit. He's pushing out on his shoulder, and he keeps kicking his hip out to stay in the circle. Everybody see that, right? So he's trotting a hexagon. There goes the butt out to stay in the circle. There goes the butt out again to stay in the circle. And what I'm looking for is this inside rear, this right rear, to track straight behind this inside forward. But it's not going to happen until he softens himself up in the barrel. As he walks away from y'all, can y'all see how straight he is from the withers to the hip? Right there. That's what I'm working to change. When I have his brain, that will change. Whose clock am I on? Mine or his? His. So I'm not going to speed things, or I'm not going to change things because I've got something else to do. There was a change. That right rear came up pretty nice, one step. I'm going to ignore the hollering. It's getting less. There was the nice one. Let's go in another direction. So we've heard about, how many of you have heard the expression, a horse has two brains, right? How many of you have heard that? Okay. In reality, he doesn't. What he does have is two different eyes that don't communicate to themselves very well, with each other very well. They do communicate, but not real well. So when I was getting something nice on that side over there, that eye was getting really comfortable with me. This eye was getting very comfortable with the outside. So now I just changed the scenario up in the horse's world. The horse does not view things as singular. The horse views things as is or isn't. I know, really. So I'm going to speed him up just a little bit, what is this? Is it a girl? I guess I could look. It's a sheep.
While Jim's doing this, let me was not able to come. So if you're looking for Shauna, that's not Shauna. So we asked Jim to continue on, and we gave him a project. So he's never worked with his horse before. I went after
There. I had two nice steps. I really want to see it the best at the walk. Let's go over here. Let's go over here. And I might, every time she wants to holler, if she starts picking that hollering back up, I might change directions each time. So before long, every holler gets a what? She has to work a little harder. Your friend's not helping you at all. Well, why isn't he out here? That's not fair. This is not a politically correct event. Another thing when we're working with the horse is we can't give space. We can't give way to the horse in the sense of I can't let her realize that she weighs 1,000 pounds. So when I go to change her, I have to ask her, when I change directions, get out of my way and go the other way. Now, the more I do that, the more she starts respecting my space and will start staying off me. If I back away, change directions, which way did she just come to change? She stepped into me. Did y'all see that? I want this to happen. See her step away from me? And I want to constantly work on that she moves out of my space to go around. There. So when she stopped, she licked and chewed. So I'd had her in a little bit of a stress point for the whole time we were going around, because she never softened her jaw except to holler. But she did lick and chew. So as soon as I stopped, she licked and chewed. That was for moving her feet. That was not for looking around. She's allowed to look. Mother Nature said beware of your surroundings at all times. The tigers can come up behind you. They can come from underneath. They can jump out of the trees, all that. Don't move your feet till the tiger jumps on you, though. And that's what I want her to understand, that she can look everywhere she wants to, but she has to stay where I put her. And I'm not going to get more aggressive if I have to ask her 27 times to get there. I'm not going to get any more aggressive on number 27 as I was on number 1. The constant get back and leave her alone, get back and leave her alone will teach her, I'll just stand here and he leaves me alone. When we lunge a horse, the goal is not to get the horse tired. The goal is not to get the fresh off of him. I like to ride a horse that has a little fresh in it. It's nice. I mean, you know, it's like being in a powerful car. As long as I got the brain, I can control the freshness. But if I don't have the brain, I don't care how tired the horse is, I can still get bucked off. How many of you have been bucked off by a tired horse? How many of you have been bucked off by a horse you had the brain? You had the brain. You were sure you had the brain. Okay.
No, I haven't.
I just lost it right there. I lost the brain. I had it, and I lost it. But it was not her fault. It was mine, because where did my attention go? Away from her to y'all. And she's allowed to do that, right? In the beginning, she is. Let's go this way, sweetie. Try that again. Let's back up a little. Thank you, right there. Thank you. There. So as I was going into finishing up what I was saying there about tiring that horse out lunging, the more I can move that horse, ask things of that horse, change directions, stop her, back her up, move her off again, keep moving her, move around the arena, You aren't going to respond to that? So, did I get mean to the horse? Did I give her brain so full of where it was about to explode? I wanted to. That was my goal. What I wanted to do was ask so many questions of her that she forgot about everything else. And by going left and right, stopping, backing up, left and right, is question, to where she's like, man, I got to pay attention because I'm about to get caught behind. So I was trying to keep her brain really full of requests. Now, watch what happens. I'm going to do something that you don't do, okay? Because most of the time when the horse gets a little unruly, what do? We get all the way up here. All right, let's see how long this lasts. Come on, prove me right. Stand still. Don't go backwards. Don't go forward. Stand still. But we as humans, that's what we wind up doing. Yes. How does this make you feel? How does this make you feel? Thank you. You notice? All right? Even at the laxity of being this far away, she was a little ill at ease. But then when I went, she held her breath and tied her jaw. Okay? A horse is the same way, but 1,000 times worse. Do you think there's a person in here going to eat you today? She does. She is a prey animal. Mother Nature said everything that walks upright and some things that slither on the ground will eat you. So she's constantly on the lookout. So then when I start trying to control her to the point of, oh crap, it could get me now. That's what can happen to her. And that would cause those things. But when I give her that little bit of laxity and say, baby, you just stand right there and life's going to be good, she'll get better and better and better. But that goes back to the same thing just like when we were working with the feet a while ago. Let her know if she needs to, she can leave the country. But if we'll just put it in those perspectives and think about it in those ways, it'll work so much better for the horse there. And I'm being real picky on her. I'm like, I want your feet to stay in the same tracks. And she's doing good at it. She really is. She's got a lot of anxiety going on here. Is she naturally an ADD horse? Is she naturally an ADD horse?
No.
Okay. So she's got lots of anxiety just from this.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And we've all seen ADD horses, right? You know, they just, they're fidgeting with everything. And then what do we want to do with an ADD horse with a bit? Let's give them something to play with. So now they're playing with the rollers and everything else in the bit. Back up, sweetheart. There you go. Good. Again. Thank you. Good. So with all the hollering going on, she's actually doing really good. She's doing a lot better than she was when she first got here. But we've got her relaxed a little bit. I don't think we tired her out. We moved her around a little bit, but we certainly didn't work a sweat up on her. We've got her head down a little bit more relaxed. But the anxiety, the head shaking, that's a sign of anxiety. The lack of chewing, the busy feet. If it's not an ADD horse, she needs a Xanax. But we can't give her a Xanax, so we've got to do things to control that brain. What hiccups does she have?
For hiccups?
Yeah.
First of all, this weekend, the bit is her enemy. If you even gently with light contact try to go backwards, she'll go.
Okay.
And then with other horses, if you use all your tools to calm her down, they don't work.
Okay.
She's on her own. You lose her completely.
Okay.
But yet when her hurt comes,
She's fine.
she's fine.
Yeah, because that's where safety is.
Yep.
Yeah. She has lots of insecurities.
Yes, sir.
But I mean, you know, and she's young and she's always been around her group.
She's 21.
She's 21.
She's 21, and she's been a push-button horse for 5 years that I've owned her, until this weekend.
Oh.
We compete in cowboy dressage. The morning ride at 9 o'clock, I got all 8s. The second ride at 11:11, I couldn't ride her. Yes, she's 21. Outdoor show. This is once a year we come here. Last year she was fine, but I was on a lower level competitive. This year, just a different horse. But you give you all the tools of, getting her butt to move, her shoulders to move, everything. Get on her, and good luck.
Okay, one thing that I would suggest for you.
Yes, sir.
When you get on her in the morning,
Yes, sir.
don't do anything but walk a 6-foot circle.
Okay.
Just a 6-foot circle. Not saying stop. You aren't trying to do a one-range stop. You're just saying, I want you to soften your body and I want you to walk this circle.
Now,
Every time she comes out, only one rein, lift up and bring her back into the circle. And lift one rein, bring her back. This outside rein should never touch her at all. You ride a snaffle bit or a shank bit?
just because she was so...
Okay, good. Inside. When we're anxious, and I'll use it, try to find an analogy that you can hang on to. When you're anxious, and I start trying to control your anxiety, not direct it, but control it, what would happen to your anxiety?
I'll lose all control.
It's going to go. But if I try to direct your anxiety and say, just go in this circle, this is all I'm asking. This is all I'm asking. It's what I was doing with her a while ago. In the beginning, I couldn't have sent her around the arena like I did when I just went round and round and round. I just did this and say, stay in this circle. Pay attention. Pay attention. There. There. So see, we had her and now we've lost her again a little bit. Not as bad. There was a change. So as you see her head, wherever her eyes are pointing, she gets re-energized. And then she comes down, and she gets re-energized back, going that way, when she can see back to where her buddy is. Now she'll come down right here. Well, you made me a liar. And I'm not asking for her to trot, I just want to walk. Just walk. And the same thing, if you were sitting in the saddle, you're just going to ask for a walk this way. So that was a lot more relaxed that way. And asked for a walk. There come that inside foot better.
Now, what if she doesn't want to walk?
Let her trot. But in a tight circle, that trot's going to run away real quick. Because that's a lot of work.
And then she would just try to turn the other way. I mean,
Not if you got that inside rein.
well, I mean, I got to really
Yeah. Just, but don't get into a tugging contest. Bump her.
I mean, I hold contact, and that's when it starts really.
But see, what we want to do is we want to, don't lean on me. Don't lean on me. It's not here and give her something to hold on. Then that's what causes that. But if I pick up, she softens and I give back, she'll quit bumping on me. But it just like you, if I put my finger on you and just started pushing, before long you're going to get kind of ticked off of that. And you're going to punch me in the nose. But if I just pushed you long enough to get you to move and then I took my finger away, then you would start figuring out real quick, I'll just stay right here and he leaves me alone. But with her, with everything that's going on in here, you see how she just calmed back down. I gave her something to do. But it wasn't so much that it was unmanageable. It was, well, as long as I just do this. There. So now we're back down to the walk, relax. Ears are half mast, head's kind of where the withers are. There's a lick and chew. All right. I'm looking for a swag in the tail, not a knot in the tail. So if I look across her top line and get all the way down, I want to see a little bit of jiggle in her butt with the muscles. It's not so tense that they got just a little bit of jello in them. And then I want that tail to have a swag to it, not like it's knotted up and it's chopping when it moves. He gets you in trouble. There. But I don't want to punish her because she's only doing what Mother Nature's telling her to do. But we've got to come to an agreement, she and I, so she can fulfill her obligation of me taking care of her. Right? So something just that simple right there has got her mind where she can't be thinking about Charlie Brown over there. You can't stand it, can you, sweetheart? Give me some loving. You can't get above it, can you? That's the bad thing of being with tall people. Is there anything from the ground that you've always had a little? She's pretty solid. Well,
Move her shoulders,
yeah.
her backside easy.
Yeah.
But this weekend, on her, she'll start out, and then if someone's kicking in the warm-up area, and then another horse does, then there's an Amish trailer coming in, and it's just too much. But this is the first weekend ever
Any questions on this horse, y'all? Yes, ma'am.
Walk through how to get the horse to try to run.
Turn your energy down. That's all you got to do. Okay? It's hard. Okay? There's several things you can do till you learn. And you know, I could stand here. How many of you have ever read Tom Lawrence's book? How many of you really understand it the first time you read it? Okay? So I could explain to you things the way that I would interpret it, and you would have as big a question mark as you did when we started. Energy is one of those things that's very difficult to explain. I can teach you feel better than I can teach you energy. But you have to experiment, okay? Like this gal, let's pick her up a trot. All right, let's take her back.
You just stop your energy.
I just took my energy and blew it out the bottom of my feet. My thought went away. My thought was, die, in the energy world. And it just went. But if you'll notice, my shoulders went down, my back softened, my belly fell down to my knees, you know, just, okay, that stuff. But then watch me keep her at a trot. Watch where my shoulders are. Watch where my eyes are. See, everything is up. And then it comes down. I didn't give any cue other than I just went with the steam. And it went right down. But it's like when you're being confrontational with another human. What does your body do? It gets big. When you're being inviting to another human, what does your body do? It comes down. And that's all it is. And practice that riding in the saddle. Practice so many times, especially trail riders, we ride with no energy, and then our horses don't listen to us because we don't know how any less energy to take away. Because we're riding, we're relaxed, we're talking with our friends, and we're here. Because I find myself sometimes on a trail, I always try to keep, my expression is keep my eggs out off the seat when I ride. And I say I have an egg in each back pocket. When I want to stop, I break the eggs. When I want to ride, I get off the eggs. So my pelvis is back, it rolls up. It's back, it rolls up. I find myself when I do trail ride that I'm sitting on my eggs. Well, that kind of takes away from what I've been trying to teach my horse. When I sit, the position of the saddle changes, which is a cue to the horse, stop, relax. So I'm sitting here all slouched down and wondering why my horse is dragging along. Get your hiney on up there. But really, my whole body is saying, stop. So then I have to go back to my training phase and says, no, I need to get back into where I'm being fair to my horse. Don't step on my gate ring. There. Good. Back. I gave you one, but not two. Thank you. And see, where I got distracted, and this is very difficult when you're teaching, is I get focused on y'all, and now my horse, I'm not saying is taking advantage of me, but I'm not being a good steward to my horse to make the correction that I should. Because I get to focusing over here, now she's up in my pocket, and I hadn't done anything. So she's like, well, I did it a while ago and you didn't do it just like then. Okay, so I should have those eyes in the back of my head where if I see or feel anything change, I need to make the correction and put her there. We have to be fair to the horse. Thanks for bringing that out. Because a lot of times we aren't. I'll get to ride along and say I'm working, training on a horse, and then I get distracted and start talking to somebody, and then I scold the horse because he lost focus. It's not fair. I still need to be training with other people in the arena for the horse's benefit. But he deserves my attention. He deserves 100% of it. If I'm asking 100% from him, what should he get from me? The same thing. And if he doesn't, I'm shortchanging him. Any other questions? Come on, y'all. I got how much time to kill? What time is it? Let him be. And then where do you go? Let him be. But you tell the judge, Judge, I need to do a moment of schooling with my horse. Would you allow me? All you're going to do is pass the judge and go to the back of the line. And then you turn the reins loose and let your horse work his way all the way to the front. Pass the judge and go to the back of the line. After the 5th time of that, he's figured out, what's the rush? She keeps making me go back there. I'm just going to stay here. And he will. The other way, if you've got a willing partner to work with you on it, and you can use a flag, you can use a dressage whip, anything. You want something about this long. Okay? I'm going to ride just like this. So I'm riding. When that person says now, in other words, your horse is wanting to come to the front, so he comes up and crowds my horse to come by me. When that person says now, you go, I'm not going to pop you. I'm going to go whack, and I'm going to hit that horse in the face with this flag. And he's going to go, oh. He's not going to rear up. He's not going to run away. He's just going to be like, where did that come from? But that person, they can't be pulling on the reins or anything. They have to say, go up there if you want to. And as soon as he gets up there, they say now, and you whack. 5th time, I'll guarantee you, the 5th time you couldn't drive your horse into that next horse or get him to pass it. But that person has to be willing to work with you. But the worst thing that we do, is we start pulling on those reins, and that creates what? Anxiety. How do you make a racehorse run fast? Pull on these reins. Watch a jockey. Watch a jockey. He's got a good hand on that horse to the last stretch. He's keeping that anxiety, keeping that going and going, and getting that horse all pumped up, and then he turns him loose. And then that horse runs and then runs down after he probably times it just right. But when we put reins on that horse, that creates anxiety. So another thing, if I didn't have a person that was willingly, when he got to a certain point, I say, okay, 3 feet is the barrier. Every time you get closer than 3 feet, I'm going to correct you and I'm going to scold you. So as soon as he crosses that barrier, I'm going to pick up on him pretty strong, and I'm going to back him up about 10 steps. Then I'm going to turn him loose like nothing happened. And when he gets to that barrier, I'm going to pick him up pretty strong. I'm going to back him up with a lot of energy and turn him loose. About 5 of those, he says, after about 5 of those, he gets to the point of, that's about as far as I can go because I don't want to have to back up anymore. So you're throwing a lot of energy in there, and then you're turning him loose. He says, Now be your own steward. Take care of yourself. And he starts sorting it out. Horses figure things out so fast if we let them. But so many times we give them gray signals. There's no black, there's no white, it's just a lot of fuzzy gray. But if I let something be real black and white to him, he figures it out really fast. Just like in the herd. He figures out who the lead horse is pretty quick and who the number 2 and number 3 is.